Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now it's the all-purpose back. This is Darren Sproles. Eric Kendricks, the Vikings' leading tackler a season ago, in on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it with Sproles. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
And Brandon, every running back wants to use their speed in order to get out in front of things. Sometimes you just have to be patient, let blocks develop. On that play, that didn't happen.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Working from the gun, Wentz completes it to Aguilar. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Here's Dalvin Cook, 3rd year back from Florida State. And he's able to get this up just shy of the 15. Trying to find some space to operate, and now they'll have it. A gain of 12, a big first down to get away from the end zone. So still backed up, but the situation not as dire now. 1st and 10 at the 14. Now Cook. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
I remember the first time I saw Dalvin Cook play in college. I was watching him on TV, called a scouting friend of mine and said, "Who is this guy? He's special." And he said, "Dude, you're watching a home run hitter on the field."
Yeah, he was special in Tallahassee. Left Florida State their all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Cook stripped, the ball's out. And fortunately, he's able to get this one back, so it is a first down.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it. And somehow he got to it and was able to recover it for his squad.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? First a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, to have that dagger play, to have that play and just finish them off right now, because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
On 2nd and 11 now, Cousins. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Sproles. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 4 yards the pickup, first down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Now a 2-time 1,000-yard rusher for the Bears. This is Jordan Howard, and he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
From the 35 on second down, Wentz. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. A first down there on a pickup of 25. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. We're scoreless after 1. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. The Eagles into the red zone for the first time. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. Shotgun now for Wentz. Flushed out right. This will be caught at about the 6. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
Go. Ready? 54. Come on, D.
On second down now. It's Howard, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Wentz now to throw. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 28-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. Cousins to throw it. He'll find Thielen working the middle. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
He's got some space. And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Here we go.
From the gun, here's Cousins. Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Zach Brown. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Well, later tonight, we have more football. Sunday night football, a good one out west. Steelers and Chargers might see equal amounts of black and gold mixed with a powder blue in the stands for that one. And then tomorrow, Monday night football, Detroit and Green Bay battle in the NFC North from Lambeau Field. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Throwing is Wentz. And it's incomplete. The Pro Bowl tight end Zach Ertz, the intended target. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. He's going to air one out. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
At their own 3-yard line.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
Nigel Bradham brings him down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
On 2nd and 9, Cousins. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he gets this up just shy of the 15. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Cousins on 1st down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. He's got a man, complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. A big play there. Cousins to Thielen. 54 yards. 2 minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They go play action here on 1st down. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Derek Barnett able to maneuver in for the sack.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. And he's going to go down again. Brandon Graham able to record his 5th sack of the season.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. 3rd and long for Cousins. And the pressure gets to him again. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On fourth down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away.
We got this. At their own 15-yard line.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And we're under a minute to go here in what's been an even first half, all tied up.
Yeah, still time to make something happen, too. Couple completions, just bring them together. Could get into field goal range. Let's see what happens.
And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. The tackle goes to Harrison Smith. To throw on 2nd and 6. Wentz. And complete to Zach Ertz. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wentz. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Wentz going to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Gilchrist. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Final play of the half, Cousins. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So no scoring in our first half. What will the second half bring as we are now back underway? This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Let's go.
Starting the 3rd quarter with Cook. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. To throw, Cousins. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Now Cousins. And they drop him for a loss, but penalty markers are on the field. Let's see about the call. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Hey, Mike. Hey, no, easy. Hey, tight.
A first down throw for Cousins. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
First down, here's the run with Cook. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On 2nd and 9, Cousins. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. 12 yards there and a first down.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you?
180.
Off the play fake, Cousins. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, a 22. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. On 2nd and 11 now. Wentz. They'll set up the screen to Howard. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up third.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Everson Griffin on the sack, taken to the 4th round back in 2010. What a steal. Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 13. Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Cousins And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his 2nd interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Wentz to throw. Deep ball for... This is taken in by Jeffrey. He's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. Alshon Jeffrey, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points. Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game.
Eagles 7, Vikings nothing. Jake Elliott set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Let's go.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 24.
Heavy on the edges, heavy on the edges.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down.
Switch. Hey, clicker.
From the 29, Cousins. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
First time they've looked his way in this game, he comes through picking up the 1st. Even though this offense doesn't have a single point to its name, they're not totally out of this game yet. A touchdown here, they could be in business.
And how about that last play? Now they've got momentum going, so you know I'm a big advocate. Get back on the line of scrimmage. Throw another play at them while you've got them rocked on their heels.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Kirk Cousins last year started all 16 games, but only led the Vikes to just 1 fourth-quarter comeback like he's trying to do here. From midfield now on 2nd down. Cousins eluding the pressure right. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a 1st down. So there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the 1st.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
To throw is Cousins. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Cousins now. is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Mike 51.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete as well. Nigel Bradham, the linebacker, right there on the coverage.
Now, he's been a busy man out of the backfield. They've looked his way quite a bit so far in this game.
Nice job there defensively, though, adjusting, because a couple of his earlier catches, he was wide open. Not that time.
You mentioned the key word, adjustment. A better cover man on him now in space.
And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. Bryant now, after hitting the field goal, gets set to kick this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 20.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll begin the drive with Howard. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Mike 51. Got one.
On 2nd and a yard, Wentz. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
On 2nd down, it's Cook. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch. Is the arm there, the leg's still there? This has been a tough game. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Cousins to throw for it on 4th. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Back to it after the pick six. Cousins going deep for Diggs. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
This is Howard on 2nd down. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. Ertz has it left side. And he's just going to be short here, barely, maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. Here's Cameron Johnston now. He's been terrific so far. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to let it. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The second quarter starts off with a bang as they snag over 30 yards. Now Cousins. Incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Throwing, Cousins. Now a desperation throw deep. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad